What is up, YouTube? Emus here. And if you guys saw my last competitive gameplay, I mentioned that I was going to talk about, kind of go on like a rant, I guess, on matchmaking in this video. Well, after thinking about it, there really isn't much to say besides matchmaking in general. It just sucks, right? You get stuck with shitty teammates, and that's every single game, right? You look at Call of Duty, CS:GO, games that I personally play. I get stuck with shitty teammates all the time, right? It's not because of the matchmaking, just the fact that players just suck, right? You're gonna get stuck with players that suck. You're gonna get stuck with players that are better than you. And you're gonna get stuck in the people around your same skill level, right? So, I'm not really gonna talk too much about matchmaking, but in this video, I really want to talk about changes that I think needs to happen for Overwatch to continue growing. And I think this is like the perfect time to talk about it, because as of today, October 12th, Overwatch has passed 12 million barrier, which means that 20 million people have been registered to play, and the game's only been out for 5 months, right? I mean, yeah, you had the beta, and then even last year in November, right, people had access to the beta then on PC, so it isn't like, anything new. People knew about Overwatch, right? So, but still, the fact that 5 months later into this game, and yet you're still having, millions of players playing, right? Because if you look at games now, most of them, in my opinion, most of them just die out right, like within a month. For example, I'm not bashing on any games, by the way, but like just recent titles, right? People are so hyped, and then like within a month they like disappear. Like their fan base disappears. No one talks about the game. No one's playing the game really. From what I've seen, yeah, there's some people playing, but it's just not really talked about. But Overwatch, literally since it came out, has been like, up and coming still. So many people talking about. So many people are enjoying the game. Still, I mean, yeah, you're gonna have complaints here and there, but the only reason why you have people complaining is because they want to make the game better for themselves and for the entirely in general. So, Overwatch is so young and it's so growing, and the fact that it's hit 20 million and it's just gonna continue growing. So I think this is the perfect time to talk about changes, because I know Blizzard wants to really hammer down Overwatch becoming like the next big esport, right? And that's another thing that a lot of people are talking about. Is Overwatch gonna be the next esport? Is it gonna be as big as CS:GO, Dota, League of Legends? And the fact that it's only like really 5 months in, and yeah, you have pro players playing way before the game even came out, right? Blizzard gave them the chance to play the game, months ahead of time, to prepare and become an established, player and team in itself. So yeah, so I think this is the perfect time to talk about, Overwatch wants to become the next esport, and I think, changes need to happen, more positive changes. So far, from Season 1 to Season 2, I think Blizzard did an amazing job with the changes there, and they just keep on implementing great changes, recently with the Halloween update, I know I kind of skimmed a little people, but we did have some hero changes and some minor tweaks here and there, so far we're looking good. But let's quickly talk about, because I only have like 11 minutes, I'm already 3 minutes in, almost 4 minutes in, because this gameplay is really short. So the first thing I want to talk about is matchmaking. I know I did mention it in the beginning of the video, but I talked about how I want to go on a rant, but there really isn't nothing much to rant about. Matchmaking is just gonna be matchmaking. Alright, Blizzard can't really fix the people who suck. Alright, you're just gonna have to bear and get stuck with those people, and it sucks, right? So you just have to deal with it, man. I mean, it's terrible, but there really isn't anything Blizzard can do, so we just gotta complain a lot and frustrate, because we get stuck with bad people. So. And then the next thing I want to talk about is spectators. So with not season 2, within this update actually, they changed spectator mode to be a lot more user friendly, which is a great step, right? Because Overwatch esports, even though it's growing and you have already had prize pools like 100k, or recently at E-League I believe it was like 300k or something like that. So you already have these massive prize pools going into these events. But the fact that a lot of people aren't even turning away, even though the fact that people love Overwatch and play Overwatch, including myself, we kind of stray away from the esports scene because it's not really user friendly, right? I watch multiple pro games. I was watching E-League, even back then, like the online tournaments that were going on before the first LAN, which I believe, Gamescom, I believe, was like one of the first LANs of Overwatch, like the first major LAN, I guess. And it's just, for the new player, it's hard to, to focus on what's going on because so much is happening. And like something like even for the casters, it's hard for them because they're gonna miss a lot of those small details, right? Like obviously they can focus on the big plays, like the Reaper getting a 4-man with his ult, or the Reinhardt getting nano boost. Obviously they're gonna notice that, but like those small individual plays that you can't really see because so much is just going on, right? Because it's 6v6, right? And it's just constant chaos and just fast-paced action that you're gonna miss out. And like spectating is like just horrible in my opinion. So they have made some changes to that, which they actually implemented in E-League. Even though it came out with the Halloween update, the update was actually implemented in a PTR, and I believe that's what E-League during that LAN they were using because spectator, fantastic improvement. And only to improve, right? But even then, like, it's not perfect. So, they just gotta keep on working on spectator mode, and hopefully people can understand more what's going on in game, and hopefully, it's a lot nicer for the viewer to experience, right? Because when you watch esports, yeah, you're gonna have those people that know the game like by heart, right? They know, they don't even need casters to tell them what's going on. They know, they can see those individual plays, they can see who's doing the wrong and stuff like that. But like for the new player, it's like, what the hell is going on, right? I need these casters to tell me to break down the game. But when you have so much going on and the casters can just do with 2 people, I mean, yeah, like even 2 people, I mean, even if you have more, it's like you're just gonna have people talking over each other. So the casters can't really break down every single play in Overwatch. So I think spectator mode, it had a great fix, and it just, in my opinion, a little bit more improvement to make it more user friendly. Another thing, 2 minor things is about the user interface. So the first thing is, I want Overwatch or Blizzard to implement a team, like, I don't know what to call it, but if you guys in this Halloween update, and even for example in spectator mode, right, you see the 2 teams on top left and the top right, and you have their heroes, you have their health bars, you have their percentages. In my opinion, they should implement that, but only for your team, right? Because obviously one of the big factors of being a great Overwatch player is knowing when the enemy has their ults, or stuff like that. Like, so having an enemy like kind of like, I guess, scoreboard. It's not really a scoreboard, but that's what I'm gonna call it. I really don't know what to call it. It's just gonna make the game easier, and I know that's what Blizzard didn't want in the first place. So just having it for your team, so especially when you're solo queuing, or even if you're a team, you can physically see who's close to their ults or who's on low health. Especially for the support players, right? I've played multiple games when I'm right behind a Mercy, and they don't even realize I'm low health. I'm spamming, like, come on, heal me, and then I die. I'm like, oh, you fucking bitch, why didn't you heal me, right? We all been in that scenario. We all played Overwatch. So having that implemented on top left of your screen, it just helps, right? They implemented ally health bars, right? But even then, if they're not on your screen, you're not gonna see it, right? Someone's gonna be behind you, you're not gonna see the health bar. So having that be constantly up there on your screen, it's only gonna help, in my opinion. And I think that's a change they need to implement. And I got this idea from playing the brawl in the Halloween update, because you can see on the top left you have your team, including yourself. You can see who has their odds and who's on low health and stuff like that. So I think that's a great change that needs to be implemented. Another thing that I feel like needs to be implemented is a minimap. And I know Blizzard hates minimaps. Well, I don't know if they actually hate minimaps, but they just don't want minimaps in the first place. That's why there isn't a minimap in Overwatch, right? They feel like it's not what they want, so they never want to implement a minimap. But they already said they won't. But I got this idea from somebody who said that instead of being a minimap, like be a minimap but including your team, right? And to me it makes sense, because if you're solo queuing, you don't have that communication, or you have 3 people on your team that's in a party. to themselves, and they don't want to make communication to the other 3 teammates, like including yourself. You can see like where your teammates are going, who's flanking, or who's doing this. Like, is your teammate next to you? Like, for example, you're Reinhardt, you're the front line, and you see your entire team backing up, but you don't realize it, right? They don't call it out or nothing. You're the only one there. You get picked off. Now it's a 5v6. So having an implemented minimap up there, you can see where your teammate rotates. All right, my teammate rotating backwards, and I'm calling out, so physically I can rotate back. So I think a minimap of just your teammates is a great idea, but I doubt Blizzard would implement it because they absolutely hate the idea of a minimap for Overwatch. So I think that's a change that needs to be made, but if it's gonna happen, probably not. And the last thing I want to mention is heroes and new maps. I know people are like, oh my goodness, like, we need heroes, like, where's Sombra? Like, Sombra's been, leaked and mentioned, like, for months now. Like, where is she? Or new maps, like, oh, we only got 1 new map. Like, what the hell is this? Overwatch is still early in this game, right? It's only 5 months in, so it doesn't really make sense for Blizzard to, like, pop new maps. Like, freaking, like, what do you guys want? Like, new maps every month, or new heroes every month? Like, the game is so early, and if you look at it at a standpoint, Blizzard wants to make Overwatch a long-lasting game, right? Like 2, 3, maybe 4+ years before they decide to work on a new Overwatch, or completely let Overwatch, dissipate, So it really doesn't make sense for them to, implement new heroes and new maps like constantly, right? Like, we still have this game, in my opinion, has a long lifespan. So I think heroes and new maps right now, they're looking good, right? We got 1 new map and 1 new hero during the 5 months. We're about to get a new hero, and for new maps, who knows? Maybe like within the end of this month, we might actually get a new map. So I think for heroes and new maps, they're doing a great job so far. There's no point of spamming out stuff like that. It's a work in progress. Like I said, this game still has a long lifespan ahead. So there's really no point of just spamming out these content, right? So, anyways, that's gonna do it for me. Some quick changes. Like I said, I didn't have too much in this video. I'm already passing the gameplay. So if this gameplay repeats itself, that's because why? Because I don't have time to gather another gameplay. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. And these are just some quick changes that I feel like should be implemented, hopefully in season 3. Because that's when they make their big, huge updates, right? Is towards the next season. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next episode, or the next video actually. Adios.